something. Have you ever been so absorbed in something that hours felt like minutes? So focused that you forgot to eat? So immersed that the world around you disappeared? Maybe you were reading a book. Maybe you were cooking. Maybe you were solving a problem. And suddenly, you looked up and realized 3 hours had passed, but it felt like 20 minutes. That wasn't an accident. That was flow. And here's what's incredible. That state you stumbled into by chance, you can learn to create it on purpose. Today, we're going to talk about the most powerful psychological state humans can experience. The state where Olympians break records, where artists create masterpieces, where ordinary people do extraordinary things. This episode will change how you approach everything in your life. The concepts are clear, the methods are simple, but the results can be life-changing. Let's dive in. Flow has many names. Athletes call it the zone. Musicians call it being in the pocket. Psychologists call it optimal experience. But what is it really? Imagine you're doing something challenging. Not too easy, not impossibly hard, just at the edge of your abilities. Your mind becomes completely absorbed. Every action flows naturally into the next. You're not thinking about what to do, you're just doing it. Time distorts. Hours pass like moments. Your sense of self disappears. There's no voice in your head judging you. No anxiety about the future, no regret about the past, just you and the task, pure presence. And here's the magical part. Your performance skyrockets. You do things you didn't know you could do. You solve problems that seemed impossible. You create work that surprises even yourself. This is flow. A psychologist named Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent decades studying this state. He interviewed thousands of people, rock climbers, chess players, surgeons, dancers, and he found something remarkable. The flow state follows predictable patterns. It has specific triggers, which means you don't have to wait for it to happen. You can make it happen. You might be thinking, okay, this sounds nice, but why should I care? Here's why. People in flow are 500% more productive than normal. 500, not 50, not 100. 500. But it's not just about productivity. Flow is where peak experiences happen, where you feel most alive, where life stops being a burden and becomes an adventure. Think about your happiest memories. Really think about them. I bet most of them involve flow. The time you were so engaged in something that nothing else mattered. That's not coincidence. Flow is where meaning lives, where purpose reveals itself, where you connect with something larger than yourself. And in our modern world, flow is becoming rare. We're drowning in distractions. Notifications, interruptions. Our attention is fragmented into 1,000 pieces. Learning to enter flow isn't just useful, it's essential. It's the difference between merely existing and truly living. Here's what happens in your brain during flow, in simple terms. Normally, your prefrontal cortex is very active. That's the part that analyzes, judges, and worries. It's the voice saying, "You're not good enough, this won't work, people will laugh." But during flow, that part goes quiet. Scientists call this transient hypofrontality. Fancy words for a simple idea. The critic in your head takes a break. At the same time, your brain releases a cocktail of powerful chemicals. Dopamine makes you feel pleasure and excitement. Norepinephrine sharpens your focus. Endorphins reduce pain and create euphoria. Anandamide enhances creativity. Serotonin gives you feelings of peace. You're basically getting the most powerful drug cocktail nature can produce. All natural, all legal, all available to you right now. Your sense of time also changes because the part of your brain tracking time becomes less active. That's why minutes feel like seconds. Your sense of self diminishes, not in a scary way, in a liberating way. You stop being self-conscious. You stop performing for an imaginary audience. You just become the action itself. This is your brain at its absolute best. So how do you make flow happen? There are specific conditions. First, clear goals. You need to know what you're trying to do, not vague, not abstract, specific. Write 1,000 words. Solve this math problem. Learn this song. Flow cannot exist in confusion. Clarity is essential. Second, immediate feedback. You need to know instantly if you're succeeding. If you're playing an instrument, you hear if the note is right. If you're rock climbing, you know if your grip is secure. If you're writing, you see the words appear. This feedback loop keeps you locked in. You adjust, you improve, you continue. Third, the challenge must match your skill level. This is crucial. If the task is too easy, you're bored. If it's too hard, you're anxious. Flow lives in the narrow channel between boredom and anxiety, about 4% above your current skill level. Not so easy you can do it automatically. Not so hard you feel overwhelmed, just challenging enough to demand your full attention. Think of it like a video game. Level 1 is boring for an experienced player. Level 100 is impossible for a beginner. But the level that's just slightly harder than what you can currently do, that's where flow happens. Okay, theory is nice, but let's get practical. How do you actually enter flow? Here are the proven triggers. Eliminate distractions completely, and I mean completely. Phone off, not silent. Off, door closed, notifications disabled. Email closed, just you and the task. Flow requires uninterrupted focus. One interruption destroys it. Set a specific time block. 90 minutes is ideal. Tell yourself, for the next 90 minutes, I only do this one thing. No checking messages. No bathroom breaks unless urgent, just pure focus. Start with a ritual. Always begin the same way. Maybe you make coffee first. Maybe you light a candle. Maybe you do 3 deep breaths. The ritual signals to your brain, now we focus. Choose one task, not 3, not 5. 1. Flow cannot exist in multitasking. Your brain needs to know exactly what it's optimizing for. Make it challenging. If you're writing, don't edit yesterday's work. Write something new. If you're learning, don't review what you know. Tackle something at the edge of your ability. Remove choice. Decision fatigue kills flow. Don't decide what to work on during your flow session. Decide before. When the timer starts, there's only one option. Create immediate feedback. Find a way to know instantly if you're succeeding. Set mini goals. Check your progress every few minutes. Let me give you a concrete challenge, something you can try today. Choose one task, something important to you, not urgent, important, something that requires focus and skill. Set a timer for 90 minutes. Turn off everything. Phone, computer notifications, everything. Sit down, take 3 deep breaths. Tell yourself, for 90 minutes only this exists. Start working, not thinking about working, actually working. When your mind wanders, notice it. Don't judge it, just gently bring it back, like training a puppy. The first 20 minutes will feel difficult. Your brain will resist. It will suggest checking your phone, getting a snack, doing something else, anything else. Ignore it, push through. Around minute 25 or 30, something shifts. The resistance decreases. The work starts flowing. You stop noticing time. That's flow beginning. Stay there, let it build, let it carry you. When the timer ends, stop. Even if you want to continue, especially if you want to continue. This trains your brain that flow sessions have boundaries. Then notice how you feel. Notice what you accomplished. Notice the quality of your work during flow versus your normal work. This is just the beginning, but it's enough to show you what's possible. Here's what happens when you start building flow into your life regularly. Your productivity explodes. Work that used to take 5 hours takes 1, not because you're rushing, because you're focused. Your anxiety decreases. When you're in flow, there's no room for worry. You're too busy creating, too engaged in the present. Your confidence grows. Every flow session proves to you what you're capable of. You stop doubting yourself because you have evidence of your ability. Your work improves dramatically. Flow is where your best work lives, always, without exception. You start to enjoy the process, not just the result. Most people hate working. They tolerate it to get the outcome. But in flow, work becomes the reward. The process becomes the pleasure. Life becomes richer, deeper, more meaningful, because flow is where meaning lives. Think about it, the moments you felt most alive, most yourself, most at peace. They were probably flow moments. What if you could have that not by accident, but by design? What if you could enter that state whenever you needed it? You can, the method exists. The science is clear. All that's missing is your decision to try it. So here's my invitation to you. Sometime in the next 24 hours, give yourself 90 minutes of uninterrupted focus on one meaningful task. Not because you have to, because you want to experience what flow feels like. Not someday, today, choose the task now. Schedule the 90 minutes now. Commit to it now. Because here's the truth, you already know how to enter flow. You've done it before. Maybe as a child playing. Maybe last year reading a book. Maybe yesterday cooking. You're not learning something new. You're remembering something you forgot. The ability is already in you. The potential is already there. You just need to create the conditions for it to emerge. And when it does, when you catch that feeling of time disappearing and everything flowing effortlessly, you'll understand why people chase this state. It's not just about productivity. It's about being fully alive, fully present, fully yourself. So here we are. You now understand what flow is. You know why it matters. You know the conditions that trigger it. You know exactly how to try it today. The question is, will you? Will you give yourself permission to focus completely? To shut out the world for 90 minutes, to discover what you're truly capable of when you're not distracted. Most people won't. They'll think it sounds nice, they'll mean to try it, but they won't actually do it. Don't be most people. Your best work is waiting for you in the flow state. Your most creative ideas, your biggest breakthroughs, your deepest satisfaction. All you have to do is create the space for it to happen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your focus and attention during this episode. That's already the beginning of flow practice. Now go catch that feeling, and when you do, everything changes. And I believe you're about to discover something extraordinary.